Hey guys, I hope you are doing well. I'm here because I want to give you a quick update of what happened last year while I was training for my marathon, so that you have a better understanding when I make reference to it of what exactly happened. You'll remember that I committed into doing something that scares me to overcome my fears. And I had two things to choose from. It was either bungee jumping or the marathon. And I asked you guys for your opinion. You voted for me to do the marathon, and I committed into doing the marathon, and I did train. Trust me, I did train for it until I had an injury, and unfortunately I didn't proceed running. There was still another chance within the year still where I could run, but I didn't want to risk it. By the time it was on that day, I would have turned 41 already, because I wanted to do this during my 40th year, but that didn't happen. I guess it was my plan, but it was not God's plan. And to be honest, there was a day when I was running, I thought to myself, I hope, because the way I want to achieve this goal, I really hope that nothing's gonna happen. I really hope that it is in God's plan. You know, when you have that moment and you quickly like, you know what, let me just take it off my head. Let me forget about it. Let me not focus on it. That I did have that thought in my mind. During my training, I had challenges with my schedule, where I would train and go with my planned schedule smoothly, but there would be times where I wasn't able to run based on the schedule. What I would then do on those weeks, I would run as much as I could, as best I could within my schedule. If I couldn't go for a run because of whatever commitment that I needed to attend to, then I would just skip the day. One thing about me is that I'm a recovering perfectionist. If things sometimes I do have a tendency of falling back into that habit, where if I plan things in a certain way, I want them to happen in a certain way. I have to be really intentional in correcting myself and readjusting to say, Pindi, no, things don't have to be perfect, So during that training, that also got me. It was during week 8 where a lot of things happened, and I couldn't do the long run as planned. But now looking at it now today, I'm like thinking, Hypopindi, this was really extreme. You could have just gone and went past the week 8 and go to week 9 smoothly, because it was only one day that you kept missing, the long run. I ran that week, I repeated it 4 times. You see how extreme I can be. This was really bad. Within the trainings, there were a number of occasions where I felt God calling me into a fast and end up breaking my training schedule and not following through. There were moments where I would have flu, and obviously if I have flu, I'd listen to my body. And I think maybe I probably did a lot of that, where I listened to my body quite a lot. Maybe there were times, looking back, there were times that I may have, pushed to still train, but I would just have something mild. I'm like, no, I'm not pushing my body. I do want this, but my health and my body is much more important than, forcing to running, even though I don't feel well. The weather, I did brave the weather. It wasn't the reasons. Even during winter, I was so consistent. I was really consistent and fit. The one other major thing that, because initially I had planned to run in September. In September, then there was the race that I was going to go to. It got cancelled. I'm like, how am I going to do this now? And this was like 2 weeks No, not 2 weeks. I heard about it after my trip. Oh, that's another thing. I had a trip to Zanzibar last year, and that also derailed a bit of my training, but not too much because it was only a week. And when I came back, because what I would do if I skip, if maybe let's say for an example, I got ill, I don't do training for that week. What I will do, I will almost restart and be like, I need to start slow again. I wouldn't proceed with where I was. Let's say for an example, I was now running 10 kilometers during the week and long runs higher than that. I would want to test it a bit and start with 5, 8, not 5, I think I would start it with 8 kilometers and see how I feel, and then gradually. It's possible that I even also started at 5. I think I probably did start at 5 because I'm so cautious. I think I was over cautious not to harm myself. And then every time I do that, then it meant I was going backwards. But anyway, after the trip though, I had decided, no, I'm not doing the restart again. I will just resume where I was. And it worked. I didn't have any problems, which was in August. Just after I got back from my trip, I learned that the race that I had been training for, it's cancelled. The sponsors had pulled off. There was no longer be a race. I was shattered, to be honest, because I'm like, oh my word, I've trained all this long, and now I'm told that the race has been cancelled because of the sponsorship. And I was thinking, how am I gonna do it? Would I then now look forward to the one in December? But the one in December, at that time, I would already gone past my 40th year, because it was on the 7th of December, and I would turn 41 on the 5th of December. And I remember having a conversation with this other lady, telling her about what has happened and what I was thinking of doing. She's a runner. She's a marathon runner, quite experienced with running. And I said to her, I don't like what's happening. I think I need to make a plan. What I'm gonna do is run on my own. I don't need a race to run the marathon. I can always run the 42 kilometers on my own, and just planning it how I'll do it, like water, make sure that I have everything that I need. Because the main thing is, if you're running through the races, water supply is not a problem. You don't have to run carrying water throughout your race. But I was determined that because now there's no longer a race, and I don't want to wait until December, which is going to be past my 40th year. I will do it. I will still do it, even if it meant I will be running all by myself. I'll just choose a route, safe route. And I already had it planned out, because I was going to run the similar route that I normally run when I train, but just longer. And in some areas I would repeat, so that it accumulates to that 42 kilometer mileage. But she was like, but Pindi, you don't really have to, you must do it. She thought that it was best I do it in December, because at least she's like, but you deserve a medal for that. But now if you run on your own, you're not gonna get a medal. But I'm like, for me it's not really about medal, but yeah, it would be great to get a medal, because I mean, a medal, you have it written. In fact, I did want a medal as well. But the thing is, what was more important was for me to do the race or the run before I turned 41. So I still carried on. I proceeded with my training regardless. 2 weeks before, I had an injury. I mean, literally 2 weeks before I went for this run on my own, I had an injury. I was heartbroken when the chiropractor told me that you will need to rest it for some time because the tendon, it was by my ankle, and he said it's a tendon, and the tendon, he said that it takes a long time to heal, but it differs from person to person. We'll just monitor how it goes. And he said that when I go back to running, I would need to start by walking first, just walk, and when I eventually start running, maybe start by a few kilometers, 5 kilometers max. I was like, oh my word, what? You're telling me I would need to do this? What's going to happen with all the training that I've been doing over the weeks? But it all went down the drain, I guess, because I ended up not running. And by that, I eventually made peace with it. I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to risk it because it's not worth it at the end of the day. There's always going to be time to do it and try again, which is what I'm doing now. I'm trying again, and I'm hoping it's going to work out for me. And what I learned throughout that process, let me mention this. This other part, I think I will need to have a separate video for it to share with you how my year went, which is probably, I'm sure that one will go out before. I haven't recorded that video, but I'm sure it will go out before this one. So at this point, you must remember, if you haven't watched that video where I'm sharing with you how my 2024 went, after this video, you might want to go and check that video out. So what also happened, I got a lesson. I got a lesson that things really do. I know this, but it was almost like, something, when something is just put on your face so that you don't miss it. You are well aware this is what's happening. It was more like God was telling me that, or showing me that, Pindi, you may always plan things the way you want them to go, and doesn't matter how much precise you want things to be and how much you want them to go your way, but if I don't want them to go in a certain way, they're not gonna. That's the lesson that I got. Because for me, I felt like this is the part that I could control out of everything that I was going through, and in my mind and all of my goals. I felt like this one is something that I had in control. It was within my powers to achieve. And I felt like, okay, I'm gonna hold on to it and make sure this is what I achieve, even if everything else doesn't go the way that I want it to go. But this one, I have control. So I think for me, I felt like God was teaching me to let go of control. Basically, that's the lesson I got from it. To let go of control and not thinking that just because I'm able to do something, it is all within my control. To always know that you may have something in control, but God's timing is best. And if it's not time, you're not gonna get it. You're not gonna get it done, even if you are able to do it. I felt like that was a strong lesson for me, just letting things go. Don't, because I like being in control of things pertaining my life, and I felt like it was a lesson to say, you know what? You don't have everything under control. Even what you think you have under control, you really don't have everything under control. Because look at what happened. I thought I had it in me. In fact, not that I had it in me, because I have it in me to do it, but I thought I had it in my hands. I was in control, but God showed me that Lady, you are not in control. I'm in control of everything. Even that which you think you will be able to execute within your powers, within your strength, you are not going to do that if I don't want. If I want you to teach, I want to teach you a lesson. That's what I felt was happening with my running last year, which is why I ended up not getting it. And I think also it was a test of resilience and determination of what I wanted. Do you really want this? If you really want this, are you gonna keep trying to achieve what you want? And I'm back again. Like I said, I think I mentioned earlier as well. No, I don't think I mentioned already. I also attempted this year. There was one on the somewhere in April. There was a race in April, and this year, and I did start training for it. I stopped at week 5 after I realized that the time of that training, of that race, that it was going to be at 12 p.m. midday when the sun is scorching. I was like, no, there's no way. I'm not running at that time of the day 42 kilometers, and it's only starting at that time. The start time was 12 p.m. and when my husband said he thinks that it's probably one of those races that are meant for people that want to run comrades, because with comrades you run throughout the day. It's more like a training for them, and I wasn't training for a comrades marathon. And with my first race of a first marathon race, running it midday when the sun is super hot, I was like, no, I'm not doing it. And I stopped at week 5. That was my second attempt. So you can see I've been trying. This time around, this is my third attempt. Although the first attempt was like over months, it went for a long time, me trying to get it done. And the second one, it went over 5 weeks. Like I said, the first attempt, it was 2 weeks before. Like literally, I was left with 1 weekend of training, and then the next week would have been the final week, and then on Saturday I would go for the actual marathon, but it didn't happen. And the last one, which is this year, was the second one was when I stopped at week 5, and now I'm back at it again. I'm really praying to God to help me. He must just please give this desire to me. And what's nice is I'm running this in Cape Town. It's a Cape Town marathon that I am gunning for. It's on the 19th of October. We've already bought tickets. We just need now to book our flights and accommodation. My husband's also going. Oh, I forgot to mention, instead last year my husband went for his first marathon. He went for his first marathon, and I took some pictures and videos of him. Yeah, it was nice. So he's the guy that doesn't do a lot of talking. He does the doing. He got it, even though he is not the one that wanted it more than I did. He did it. He got it. I was proud of him. So he did it for me. My husband did it for me instead. He's like, babe, if you can't do it, if it's not happening for you, I'll do it for you. And that was great. I was excited about it. So yeah, guys, that's what happened with my marathon journey last year. I hope this one is, gonna be a good one, but I'm not complaining. I still had a good time. The longest I ran was 30 kilometers, which was really great achievement. I felt like I achieved still. I felt like I achieved some great deal. That's why it's important to enjoy the process and not only the day of your achievement of your goal. Just enjoy the process, because I really did enjoy the process. That's why on my other recording I said I will try as much as I can to take video. Maybe let me not say as much as I can. I will try every now and then to take videos of me running, but that's not really going to be happening a lot or often, because I don't feel like I would enjoy my run. But we'll see how it goes. If I'm enjoying the runs even when I'm recording, then I'll do it. And I could hear myself as well while I'm running. I was running out of breath trying to talk with the camera while running. It just showed that maybe I was running at a higher speed than I needed to. The average I ran was, on that video, it was 6 minutes 25 seconds per kilometer, which was not was good. It was good, and maybe too high at this stage, because they say that when you run, you must be able to still have a conversation if you are running at a good pace. And clearly I could just hear from that video that I was not having an easy time trying to talk while I was running. So probably I was running at a higher pace than I should have. But yeah, guys, I hope you're gonna enjoy this journey that I'm sharing with you.